Shall we just dig in?
Yeah, why not?
Right, 10 minutes for you to create your definition of the key challenges that you're facing in the farming sector.
And don't be shy, just get in and dig.
You can fight for the blocks.
I'm going to move these models over here. I'm going to move your models over here onto that table. Some more.
You have to do this way. So, who would like to share first? Volunteer? Volunteer? Okay. So what are the key challenges in the farming sector based on your model? You can lift it up and then you can show it to the rest.
Better negotiation and communication and understanding between the farmers, between the big companies and between the institutions. So here is the farmers with their production. Here is big companies with their factory. And here is the institution, Ministry of Agriculture, government, talking all together. In the middle of this table is the money, how to spend their money and everyone to be satisfied.
So why are there
on the round table? Yeah. Yes, I put in front of here the agriculture farmers. Here is their production. Yep. Here is big industry, big factory with their productions for processing their products, and here is the institution. Yes.
Right. Any question?
So do you think that they are all disconnected, or that this is usual picture in farming, that they are all around the same table and talking together?
They are not always on the same. They are never on the same table. They are always farmers with institutions or a company with the institutions. Never like this table to sit all together in front of them to have their real purpose, how to have a benefit from all works they do together, and how to solve the problems and everyone to be satisfied.
I see some are sort of leaning in and some are kind of leaning out a little bit. Was that intentional or?
Maybe I put a black here more because I'm much more connected with this green with the farmers. Maybe company are not too much black, but I feel
so that's where
for them like
So that's where the challenge is, do you think?
Yes, the challenges. I think that the challenges for me is here, because here is the farmers, here is how to make them to sit together, to talk together, to understand to themselves, and that is a very big challenges. Yes. And institutions, I also put the institutions here, because sometimes in this kind of process, institutions are present like something like a main in the negotiations. They are not. These two farmers and companies are the main actor in the negotiation. Institution only should respect the law and implement the law.
Right.
Okay. That sounds like there's quite a few, like a different couple of issues within the model that you've kind of identified, which is brilliant. Hopefully we can kind of unpick in more detail. Does anyone else have any questions for the model? No? Don't be scared.
And who's the guy with this orange hat?
I found only like To symbolize, I use this like a symbolization of the farms, with the hat. But I only find here because some of the people in the here doesn't have a hands, other doesn't have legs. I found these people in the Lego.
Diversity.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Diversity is good.
Fabulous. Okay, round of applause for model. Thank you. So
Next.
if we go around this way,
Do you want me to hold?
Okay. So, two things came up in my mind when you asked the questions. One thing is that I'm not only representing or small scale farming, also like bigger scale farming. And one thing is that we don't share equipment in general. I think it's a huge problem.
you don't share.
Equipment like tractors and like
Oh,
other
okay.
things, which is
Harvesting.
harvest for needs for farming. So that everyone wants to have their own machine. That also here is representing, like no, that should be like this. So it's like negotiating about these things, like we should do something together is not working in general. Like if you want to share like a common tool, so it's almost impossible. So that's one key challenge. And on the other hand, I'm doing organic farming, and it's like for having very good organic farming in a bigger scale, not speaking about small scale, you need very good technology, like in Austria, in Germany, and also in here. So because of the weed control, we are having organic farming in 300 hectares, and then you need the best technology. So that's one thing. And on the other hand, here's a small-scale farmer, and here's the city, and I couldn't really represent or display the connection between them. That I think what I feel in the small-scale farming, that they don't have some skills, like for example in management skills. So sometimes they don't know how to sell their product, how to do the logistic part, and so many other things which is like really missing. So that's also one issue that, for example, what I see in the restaurant side, that there is a demand which doesn't connect or meet with the farmer's demand or farmer's needs. So there is no communication. So I couldn't display the lack of the communication between the two sectors.
I'm just going to pull you back slightly. Always talk to the model. So this is one of the things you might notice. So you were talking to everyone, which is fine, but when you do this with other people, make sure that they always touch the model, and you're talking more towards the model than everyone else. It's just to keep that bond between you and the Lego going. Okay.
All right, thank you.
So if you
Thank
just
you for the comment. Yeah.
no, it's
I
fine.
can hold it,
Yeah, absolutely. Just
Yeah.
touch and just point at the bits so that we can kind of get which.
But I couldn't really display this because I think it's really hard to display that. How to display the communication, I was not sure, so I would need more time to figure out something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really.
Thank you.
I think there's some really interesting challenges that you've pointed out there. The technology, and especially that sharing of.
Because everyone needs to that, I need my own tractor, I need my own, so everyone needs to that on profit and on equipment, on technology, and not about like, okay, let's sit together and like buy like a meal together, and we can put everything, like our own product, and one meal is enough, and we don't need to have own meal each one. So there's a huge problem in Hungary, and I think in the Eastern European countries.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions or comments about this? Do you feel that this is representative of your countries as well?
Yeah, of course. Regarding the equipment, usually we all like to have our own equipment, but in some cases you could share some of equipment for sure. But it's a problem, especially for example in Croatia. You have funds and subsidy for buying equipment, but it is not usually.
But it's for individuals, yeah.
Sorry?
But it's for individuals.
Yes, it is
So
not.
the subsidies always go for
yes,
individuals.
it
yeah.
is not
It's
for.
possible for the cooperatives also.
Yes, but it's very difficult to apply because every farmer I need this machine more and someone else needs something else more. So it's very hard to apply a project together for one
Because
machine.
one person should be responsible for the others, and you cannot find the person who would like to be responsible for the others, and to get the credit loan or and then to buy together. It's impossible, and the banking system is not really supportive for that kind of investments.
So it's not only the farmers guild, but also the guild of the whole system.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so, that's quite. I find that really interesting. That, similar. It's coming out from a similar. Yeah, please.
In Poland it's also similar. I even asked some farmers because in my village there are a lot of tractors, but just my area is pretty hilly, so not so much people cultivate the soil anymore. But there are a lot of tractors, so I asked, why you can't share a tractor in few people? And they say, oh yeah, but who's gonna be responsible if it breaks or that and this? And people are afraid. There is some fear. But from the one project we visited cooperative in France, and there it works. Yeah, there are 20 farmers and they have 3 tractors, and the work works well. Yeah, it's legally okay. And
So there is potential for solutions. It's just how do we, address that? Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. Any other comments or questions for the model?
Question?
No? Okay.
Move on to the next one.
Fabulous.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I think the biggest problem in small-scale agriculture in Italy is that there is no organization between farmers. But we have a big challenge to develop a system where the economy is widespread. It is not and circular, and not like in agro industry where the economy is centralized. So the big challenge for agroecology and small-scale farmer is to develop a society where there is widespread economy and where all the people have a good job, and so what we need is to build collaboration between producer and try to develop a system where we can collect together all the product, and try also to do to build our factory to made to produce our jam and our product and to sell it. And what another big opportunity and challenge that we can have with small-scale farming is to build a strong relationship with the people in the community. This is, but at least now it is very difficult now to create these systems. Also because there are not the administration at all levels, so local and regional and national administration and politics are orientated for agro-industry farming. So there is no opportunity and found also to develop this kind of systems now in Italy.
Okay. And so this little, you've got a tube kind of coming out. The little green tube that you've got sort of on your
This?
model? Yes? But what's that?
This is just water.
Irrigation,
Yes.
okay.
It is a farmer that is working in the field. Here is a market. Here is like a place where the farmers collect all the product, and here is a transformation center, food center.
So this is more about the actual the systems in
Is-
place.
Yes.
And
The value chain.
Yeah, value chain systems.
And from my understanding, there's not much of a support system here for that. It's not very.
We
It's
n-
not there, or you need more support.
Yes.
this?
Let's say that we have completely to develop this kind
Okay.
of organization. Yes.
Okay.
So when you put this together, because this is the farmers, right?
Yeah.
This is the market.
Yes.
Is there any reason why this is closer to this and not to this? Is because the connection is better here, or?
Yes, this is better connected. I mean, for example, is to have a local market is not so difficult. No, there
Mm.
are local market in, for example, in Italy, but to collect and transform the product, this is
So, yeah,
It
so
is
this is a
something-
challenge.
yes.
This part is a challenging one.
Here is simple because it's in the hands of the farmer, no. But here, you need really the political support to build a transformation
This person
center.
here.
Yeah.
And I guess resources as well to
Yes.
support that. So,
This and that. The same sort of theme going on.
Yeah.
The policymakers.
Maybe
I wish we got a policymaker here now to listen to this.
And
And-
also, the problem of to have a transformation center is that we have the same behavior in Italy. I have my tractor, I have my stuff. I don't want to share with the other, but to have a transformation center, maybe you need
Need
to
to share.
work and share,
Mm.
to share and to have the same equipment, no?
absolutely, and that was saying about the technologies as well needed. Yeah. So does anyone have any comments or questions for the model?
Just a comment that actually it's a very positive model. It shows the negative by not showing it. So what is presented is what should be, if I understand properly, and the challenge is what you don't see that doesn't allow this to be. So it's like the other way.
Yeah. At least we sort of know that these ones are quite easy to replicate, but the complete value chain will require the government to be involved and the farmers to change their mindset so they can share resources. It's interesting.
Absolutely. Any other comments or questions?
In this sort of process, because you have gone through these discussions and you discover some commonalities, differences, something that you have learned that you have not heard before, which is key in the process to get people to really talk about something that is so personal to them and to make it generalized as well so that everyone will be able to understand where you guys are coming from. And normally it's like once we have done this, the next stage that we are doing, normally we will ask the group to identify shared understanding or the collective understanding of the challenges, which is key. Because just imagine that if you are working in the same organizations perhaps, you might use this as indication of the key challenges that you would like to address for the next year, maybe. But as a practice of how this should be, the next stage, level 3, is about negotiation, right? Say that you are working with, you've got stakeholders with policymakers, landowners, supermarket and whatnot together. We would want each one of you to pick one of the key elements of your model, because you have talked about different challenges in each of the models. But as a practice today, pick one very important element that you can't live without. One key challenge that you think should be put forward as a shared understanding of what those challenges are. So if you could think of what do you want to bring forward as a group shared idea individually first, and then we can negotiate.